Man, wow, what a shocking statement from Victor Conte about Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr.'s upcoming fight, as they are engaged in a debate about testing. The number one tester admits that the tests aren't worth anything. Let's talk about Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr., they're back and forth about testing, but the whole thing being blown up by Victor Conte. It's absolutely amazing. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division where there is a championship fight coming up between Devin the Dream Haney and Brian Norman Jr. There was a lot of commotion that was caused over the last day or two because Devin Haney insisted on additional testing protocols to begin at 12 weeks out from the fight instead of 8 weeks. And back and forth from Brian Norman as to whether or not Devin Haney was actually trying to get out of the fight. In doing so, though, there was an interview with Victor Conte that took place. And Victor Conte was asked dead straight if he could beat VADA tests. And he admitted that he knows how to beat VADA testing. Now, before I get into the details and explain to you exactly how shocking that is and how it makes drug testing worthless, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for what you do for the channel. It really does make a difference. I don't do a bunch of fancy graphics and a lot of different stuff. So just being able to straight shot talk to you, I really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of the videos like this. It really helps the channel out. But let's get into this. I want you to understand my premise. If I know that I want you to test, but I know that I can beat that test, I know I can beat that test. And I'm hired by a boxer because that boxer knows I can beat that test. Why would another fighter ever trust my test? They wouldn't. So again, understand what Victor Conte said in this interview and how shocking it is. Sean Vitale asked him, what percentage of people do you think are in boxing are getting past and beating the PED tests? Victor Conte tried to brush it off and try to do a little mini commercial for VADA and explain how VADA is the only player out there. But yes, and he answers it, yes, I know how to beat VADA tests. Yes, there are people out there, other people out there that know how to beat VADA tests. However, that's why I'm so important, because I can catch people because I know how to beat the test. That is a shocking conflict of interest between between Victor Conte, who claims to be an advocate to solve performance-enhancing issues, but yet on the same side, actively is involved in the nutrition and the supplements, picking the supplements of fighters, and markets those tests as getting as close to the line as you can, but he says that it can be undetectable. Watch, how do you know Victor Conte isn't just giving Devin everything to beat the test? Because he can do it if he wants to. You just have to rely on and trust that he's not doing it. And this is somebody that is convicted and admitted to doing it in the past. And yet they push VADA as the only reasonable and only legitimate testing agency. That is amazing. That Victor Conte and are selling boxers on the idea that only VADA can do your testing. But yet Victor is saying that he is essentially VADA. He is VADA. He's the one that said, yes, I can get past these tests, but also I'm responsible for knowing how the tests get beat. But wouldn't you have to work for VADA to do that, Victor? Wouldn't you have to work for VADA? Are you with Snack or are you with VADA? He's with VADA and he's with Snack. That is a tremendous, 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 tremendous conflict of interest. And nobody, in my personal opinion, should allow that conflict of interest to take place with Victor Conte and a fighter that they represent. There's no way knowing that Victor Conte said out his mouth that he knows how to beat VADA tests, but Devin Haney is trying to push super hard for more VADA testing when the guy that is preparing him for the VADA test admits that he knows how to beat him. Again, you are left to trust to Victor Conte and his goodwill that he is not out there picking and choosing who's going to be able to use dope, who's not going to be able to. Because you have to, in order to trust VADA, you have to hire him. That looks like an absolute and complete scam. So if I am Brian Norman, I am doing it. Sean Porter said the same thing, told Brian Norman Jr. to be careful because these guys know how to beat those tests. Why do you have to sign up for VADA? Now, Victor Conte says, well, USADA right now, they don't do boxing. It's because they want to have total control of the process along with adjudication. And so there's no other players on the block. My understanding is that you can hire Quest Diagnostics to do your dope testing for you. That's my understanding, that you can hire them to do that. But anyway, there's got to be somebody out there that's not connected to Victor Conte who says he knows how to beat the tests and is currently working with fighters on their strength and conditioning. Now, if Victor Conte was only working with VADA and he was not dealing with any fighters at all, he wasn't doing any strength and conditioning for fighters, then I think, okay, yeah, there's room. He has room to say, okay, give me a second chance, but not when he's responsible for guys like Devin Haney, who are literally gained 25 pounds magically overnight. And you got Terrence Crawford, although he's never been caught cheating for steroids, or has never been caught, is doing something where he's growing a turtle back at well over the age of 30. I'm telling you, man, it's a wild, wild, wild situation out here in boxing, man, where the thieves are the ones that control it's like the bank robbers are the ones they put behind the glass and say, nah, you need bank robbers as tellers because we'll know when we're going to get robbed, but not think that maybe these robber bank tellers are going to be robbing from inside the vault. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.